Hello everybody, are you able to hear me? আপনারা শুনি পাচ্ছেন সমস্ত কথা?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ଆମେମାନେ ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛୁ।
ମତେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଭଏସ ବହୁତ ଲୋ ଶୁଭୁଛି, so let me work on my audio settings. One moment. Satyajit, Mona Lisa, Swai, Apabrita, Dharitri. I think all of you have joined. Mona Lisa, Jenna, you also. Good to see that. So at first we will watch a video, all right? Before doing anything else, we will watch a video. After that, we will begin our discussion. One more, please. Sorry, folks, I had been disconnected. Were you all there online? What was the online tele? Abhi
So,
there was some network issue for which my Zoom network collapsed. Anyway, I have rejoined. But were you able to watch the movie that was being short film that I was trying to broadcast?
no, sir.
Okay, then just let's do that first, and then maybe we will try to do it. Okay, just a second.
Hello, sir. We can't see the movie. Sir, the sound is not there. Hello, sir.
The sound is not coming.
No, sir.
Is it not coming to anybody?
Yes, sir.
Bhagavad sound पहुंच नहीं हाँ? तो हवा का था नहीं. Still, let me try once more. Yeah. Still, once more, let me try. Now, are you getting a sound?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The prehistoric man lived for millions of years as a nomad. His community survived by hunting and collecting fruit and roots. That is why men lived in
Hello, sir. The
constant
sound
migration
is very
in search of
low.
food. But a revolution was about to start, which would forever change this old way of life. This revolution happened with the mastery of agricultural techniques. Man learned how to sow the land and reap the fruit of his work. This new habit allowed man to gradually settle down on his piece of land, leaving his nomadic ways behind. The first villages began to emerge near the floodplains of the rivers, as these were the most fertile land. Since most places where man settled down were not adequate to grow food throughout the year, man began to give preference to the cultivation of cereals, which, besides their nutritional value, could be stored for longer periods. However, some of these cereals were often attacked by pests and rodents. During that same historical period, man developed the ability to domesticate animals as well. The dog was one of the first to be domesticated, as it would be used as a working animal, helping to safeguard communities while engaging in hunting and livestock-related activities. Some basic requirements had to be fulfilled before an animal could be considered domesticated. It could not compete with humans for food. Therefore, animals that fed on grazing or leftovers would be the ideal option. Ideally, these animals could not feel panic easily. However, if that was not possible, they would have to behave like a pack when frightened. By forming large groups, they would be more easily controlled by their owners and their herding dogs. These animals were domesticated in order to provide food for men, having also to reach their adulthood rapidly, thus increasing their productivity. Both agriculture and livestock served other purposes besides food. The animal's leather was used for several different purposes, both for clothing and the production of other items. And animals, like sheep, besides providing meat and milk, also supplied their wool. Vegetables, like flax and cotton, were also grown to serve as fabric. These small villages started to produce surpluses, trading and exchanging their products with other villages. Commerce began to slowly emerge, getting increasingly common over time. The mastery of these technologies created the basic conditions for the emergence of the first cities.
So everybody, I hope you have gone through this video, small video presentation that talks about Neolithic revolution and how agriculture began. So welcome to the coffee house. Sorry for the disturbances in the network that we have been facing. To begin today's session, so if people have something to speak on the topic, those who have joined, I request you can speak one after another on the topic, and then maybe we shall have a discussion. I welcome Sujit sir to the panel. And along with that, I will also welcome Mona Lisa Swai, Mona Lisa Jena, Dimitri Das, and Satyajit Swai, Swati Priya. Okay, we may start talking. Anybody wishes to talk anything on the topic can speak.
I am also here, sir, with Swatipriya.
Okay. So no one has to speak anything on this. So do you have any questions in mind which you want to put on the topic? Guys, are you there? Because I would request that you should be available first. If you're there, you can turn on your video, talk to me. Yeah. Thank you, Swati. Yeah, I can see Swati. Oh, yeah. Pleasure meeting. Haritri, Mona Lisa, anything to ask? Anything coming to your mind when we hear about the topic? India needs another agro revolution, agricultural revolution.
Hello, sir. I would like you to introduce us to the topic first. Most of us might not be knowing about this. So I would like to give some introduction regarding that topic.
All right, I would like to give you that. Satyajit, do you want to say anything? I find you unmuted for a while. Yeah. You want to say anything?
Sorry, sir. I don't know why, but whenever I am unmuted myself, it was unable to hearing whatever we say. So I'm unmuted.
Oh, okay. But otherwise, you are not, when you are on mute, you are not able to hear me.
Yes,
It's
sir.
okay. I don't get any background noise from your side, so you can stay unmuted. No problem. So coming to the question raised by Apabrita, that let's understand the terms first. Revolution agricultural revolution. These are the two key words. First, we need to understand what does it mean by revolution. A revolution, okay, I want to talk to Satyajit. Have you ever heard this word, Satyajit, anyway? Revolution?
Yes, sir.
Kranti, Viplava. Have you heard this term?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. You might have heard it, but you are not able to speak it. The term
Sir,
revolution means a tremendous change, a radical change, a complete change, which generally brings some type of effect. That's what we understand by the term revolution. And when we talk about agricultural revolution, the name is very specific that we are talking about a revolution happening in agriculture. And then the area goes like India needs another revolution. See, when GK students study for different competitive examinations, they have to get many revolutions by heart. Have you heard the term white revolution, green revolution, pink revolution, yellow revolution? Have you heard such terms? Blue revolution?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So have you thought, what does it mean? Whenever you have heard something like that, have you ever wondered what does that mean? Why it is called so? Why is it called as a revolution?
So white revolution means to increase production in the field of milk. Like
Why
that.
do you think it was? Why do you think that it was needed? Why milk production needed to be increased?
Milk production is needed to be increased. Like that, agricultural production is also needed because of growing population, increasing population to face the need of hunger. To get rid of hunger, we need to produce more and more.
But
When there
white
is
revolution did not happen now. India's population touched 140 crores just a year before. Before that, our population was not that great. But why do you think at all that? Have you wondered and asked yourself this question? Why did we need a white revolution? Why did we need a green revolution? What does it mean by green revolution?
so
Anyone can
yes,
answer. Anyone can
green
participate. Yeah.
revolution. So green revolution means it is increased production rate, the changes in the field of agriculture. Green revolution.
No, not that. Green revolution
For
refers to
revolution,
the
sir.
yeah.
Sir. Simply revolution means the transformation. If we
What
transform
type of transformation are we talking about? When we talk about agro revolution, what kind of transformation are we talking about?
yes, it's a transformation in our culture. Sorry,
Are you
transformation
talking
in our agriculture.
so for any
Okay,
kind of
so-
revolution, we need some tools, some weapons through which we can rebel. That's why revolution is not happening now. Is the agricultural revolution is not happening nowadays because we have not improvised our tools. We don't have. We are continuing with the same skills, same tools. For revolution, we need manpower. We need tool. We need ideas. We need skills. All these things are needed for a revolution. I feel as we don't have.
Do you think Indians are really accepting agriculture as a primary profession these days, or has it shifted to the services and other fields right now? When you say that Indian as such should design better tools, better techniques to bring a revolution, are we addressing what problem are we addressing? My question is that we needed a revolution to get our country free from the British. We needed a revolution to throw away the British rulers in 1857. So when we talk about green revolution, what problem are we trying to address?
So because yes, few years before it was agriculture is our primary source of economy. But nowadays, our economy is switching from agriculture to industrialization.
Hmm.
Because of that,
So
sorry, sir,
because of that,
you said something.
no, I'm asking what you
Yes.
have to say.
Yes, yes, sir. We have shifted from agriculture to industrialization. Like that, also we have shifted to urbanization. So we are giving less importance to agriculture sector.
Hmm.
And one more thing, there is a social gap in which we consider agriculture to be a very low grade job to be performed. So for us in society, we don't get that much of respect. So people are preferring to be a bureaucrat instead of a farmer. This is also another reason why we are not why we are not focusing on agriculture. This is what
Okay. Mona Lisa Jenna, Mona Lisa Swai, as I told you that when you talk to me or Sujit sir in the coffee house, you can speak in any language. तुम्हें जो हरित विप्लव, सबुज विप्लव, श्वेत विप्लव, हाँ, एगुड़ाकर कहले कौन बुझ ताकु नेकी तम मनरे किछि प्रश्न अछि ना तमे बुझुछ मैं स्पेशली स्वाति मोनालिसा जेना और स्वाई को पचारुछु धरित्री मत हाँ कि ना किछि तो कहबो ना सर हमें किछि बुझुनु तो हाँ कहबो ना सर हमें बुझुछु एया बुझुछु
Sir, sir, Green Revolution means the Green Revolution was a period of agriculture transformation that the mid 20th century.
केबे हितला when did it start why did it start
Maybe 20th century.
20th century means which year
Bingsa Shatabdi.
oh ठीक अछि I could sense your understanding मु ए revolutions गुड़ाक विषय जहा जाने बुझे ठीक अछि if you are in the shop then it's okay जहा बुझे आपण को bird's eye view दोची so that you can understand what is meant of the topic. The topic has 4 keywords. One is India, second is another, third is agricultural or agro, fourth is revolution. Let's begin our journey when India was a primarily an agrarian country. Let's go back to the time when India was so-called Sone ki Chidiya. We know very well this country had a lot of fertile land and agriculture here, as it was shown in the video, as a very early practice during the Neolithic phase. Obviously, at that point of time, the technique of agriculture was subsistence, poduchas, jhum cultivation, shift cultivation, ek jagah pe farming karna, then you shift to another place and you use that field, leave that banjar land for some time, for some years, again come back and do farming there. Like this, the basic modes of agriculture was being practiced, primarily to produce grains. And those gradually, through the Bronze Age, through the Iron Age, now it came to a point where agriculture was considered to be a separate trade. So some skilled people called as farmers were engaged into agriculture, and there was a barter system, as you saw in the video. It went on through the Delhi Sultanate, through the Mughal times. During the times of the Gupta, they created a tax collection system based on the agriculture itself. They called it a Samanta system. There were farmers who were giving tax to the different tax collectors. It was taken to the king, the Raja was giving it to Maharaja was giving it to Samrata, Ekarata, like that. Guptas introduced such a type of feudatory model of collection of taxes. The tax money was mostly utilized for war. Also, some of it was used for public welfare. And any king who was doing any public welfare was considered to be a good king. Things passed through Delhi Sultanate, where we find the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, etc., working a lot for agricultural development. It shows that still people were hungry. Time passed. We had Mughals. The Mughals brought the system of the Hasala with the help of Todarmal, and they tried to give issue Patta and Kubliyat, which is today called as Patta and Kabala, to the farmers, the ownership and possession deed of the land. And farmers, they were trying to organize this unorganized sector. Then came the British. The British brought a tremendous change in the way agriculture was being practiced. They shifted the object from the subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture. They forced people to go for indigo, tea, coffee, opium, and leave the crops. So agriculture in India was disturbed. And you know, geographically, there are some years called as El Nino years, dry years, which is right now also going. It will go on for some more years, where agriculture used to suffer and people used to have something called as famine, Durbhikya. And a famous Durbhikya like this called as Naunka Durbhikya, which has been recorded also in photography, is something to be seen, where millions of people in the eastern part of India which suffered, they died. So British were exploiting not only in eastern part, also in the western part. They made the zamindari system, the royatwari system, the permanent settlement of the zamindars, and they collected taxes. This made Indian farmer always a poor person who did not have money with him. The money was always enjoyed by zamindars, kings, and so-called people who are around king. This is the reason for which a farmer probably joined Indian national struggle when Mahatma Gandhi, subsequently Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and everybody they called. They joined. They wanted a better future. But by the time India became independent, we already had a population of around 33 crores. 33 crore hungry people don't have food to eat. This is how Indian first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru got India. And fortunately, there was some development happening at that point of time in the areas of Mexico. They were creating some hybrid variety of crops, which were high yield varieties. They could produce more. And the idea came to India too, because they wanted to test these crops. They needed places. So some was tested in Africa, some was tested in Mexico, some Middle America, and also India accepted the Green Revolution, first Green Revolution, under the championship of Swaminathan sir. And he is also called as the father of Indian Green Revolution. And now we could produce a lot of high-yield varieties of crops, especially wheat. But there was a problem with the first revolution. This high-yield variety of crops needed a lot of manure, minerals. They also needed a lot of water. As a result, there was a requirement of fertilizers. So previously we had been using the traditional fertilizers. Now we were using we started to use chemical fertilizers. So NPK, phosphate fertilizers, nitrate fertilizers, and all other fertilizers were used. Then there was a need to protect the crop from the pest attack. So heavy amount of pesticides were used. But ultimately, we were able to provide at least rice, dal, and other basic. Dal was not also sufficient to the hungry Indians within some years. But then the problem did not end there. The next problem was providing a proper nutrition. You are not going to live on rice and wheat, obviously. You are not going to eat on roti. So there was a requirement to bring other revolutions like shifting the cultivation from rice or wheat towards urad dal, moong dal, all the pulses, which is famously known as Yellow Revolution, and also animal protein, which is in the form of milk, known as White Revolution, other forms of animal meat, which is known as Pink Revolution, and fish, Blue Revolution, they were all brought. So this second phase of Green Revolution or Revolution, Agricultural Revolution, was able to provide Indian with little bit of protein along with rice, what they eat. Otherwise, India had been a malnourished country. Along with that, horticulture was developed, fruit production, vegetable production was increased. India started to apply sericulture, apiculture to produce silkworm, make more silk out of the silkworm, and also honey. We were now becoming rich in terms of production. Then began the next problem, the distribution. It could not be done in an agglomerate manner. They were sporadic. Different states were mastering different revolutions. For example, Punjab was mastering Green Revolution in wheat. Odisha, Bengal were mastering rice revolution, the Green Revolution in terms of rice. Andhra was mastering horticulture. So there were different pockets where food was overproduced. The next challenge came in the form of distribution. So food, when was distributed through the road networks, through the highway networks, through the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, which was trying to connect different farmers to different places, lot of food item got wasted because they had to be stocked. We didn't have enough stocking facility. Grains, cold storages, they were not present. So food got rotten. So that is the third requirement of revolution, which was seen when farmers kept on committing suicide. In fact, farmers have been always brutally tortured by Indian economic system. Well-to-do farmers were probably enjoying everything, but the farmers who are not well-to-do, they have suffered. And now we are in the face of another problem. Now we may have enough of rice. In fact, so much of rice that it can be distributed at 2 rupees a kilo by giving a lot of subsidy, but still we have enough stock to manage ourselves for some years. But unfortunately, we have dal at an exorbitant price of 100 rupees a kilo. We have oil touching 200 rupees a kilo. We have other elements like fruits. They have always a skyrocketing price. Apples sold at 200 rupees a kilo. Pears are sold at 150 rupees a kilo. The common man in India cannot afford to buy good food. His food will only comprise of rice or items made up of rice. It could be idli, it could be dosa, or it could be potato. He doesn't have protein on his plate. He doesn't have paneer. He doesn't have milk. He doesn't even have fruits and vegetables. But India, according to the figures, is one of the largest producers of rice. We are the largest producers in terms of milk. We are also largest producer of fruit and vegetable, second or third. So much we are producing, but Indians are still hungry. Most of the Indians are not able to buy food. So the government has come with schemes of subsidy, trying to provide midday meal to the school children, ahar to the people living in urban areas who cannot access good food, trying to give a basic rice and dalma with a little bit of achar. So is the problem of feeding the hungry Indians solved? Is our distribution system efficient? Are we maintaining a proper public distribution system? Have we ensured food security? With these questions, I wanted you to think that do we need another revolution? So I have given a broad overview on the topic spanning over 5,000 years. So now you can ask me your questions, or anybody wants to throw any light on the topic in your renewed understanding, you can do that. I don't know whether you could understand what I spoke or not. जहाँ मु कहली सेटा बुझी पारले कि नहीं से भी मु जानी.
Sir,
सत्यजित आपण किछि कहउछन देखि.
yes. Sir, as you know, in everything they have the two equal parts. One is the positive and one is the negative. So if you see in your topics of the green revolution, we will find that there are lots of the advantages and there are lots of equal disadvantages. Because when you call, it gives the employment in the positive side, and we also said that in the negative side, we also call that it destruction the soil. And in same way, when we say it increase the productivities, in the another side, we also say it is a limited area because it needs the lands for the industries for making that technologies which will be helps for the green revolution. And the people is also keeping the less interest on the agricultural future. So here is a question is arising in my mind that what will be in the mindset in the next generation?
I strongly disagree to what you said. I strongly disagree to what you say that agricultural revolution has two sides. It has advantages and disadvantages. No. Agro revolution, green revolution did not have disadvantage. It is the ignorance of the people that had disadvantage. The soils of the Punjab are fallow today. In fact, 19% to 23% of Punjab's soil in different regions have become fallow. Fallow means where you cannot cultivate anything. It has become because of the overuse of pesticide and fertilizers. If you ask me what is the reason, I will not blame green revolution for it. Look. Okay. Look, yes, Sujit sir, have a good time. I have a garden. I also have to fertilize and give pesticides in my garden. I bought one packet of NPK 3 years back and it is still running. Why? Because you need to use chemical fertilizers in grams. But the farmers of India who used subsistence farming and cow dung compost and other forms of compost, they were habituated with throwing fistful of fertilizers and they carried it on to the chemical fertilizers too. So they will be throwing kilos and kilos of urea because they never could get convinced that one spoonful will work for one plant. As a result, there was always an excess amount of fertilizer present. So do you blame the farmers for it? Do you blame the agro revolution for it? For making the Punjab soil fallow? No, I blame their ignorance. These people were given the technology, modern technologies and modern ways of farming, but most of them did not realize and do it well. When they got the advantage of chemical pesticides, they altogether stopped the use of natural pesticides like neem plantation, use of neem leaves, which was commonly used, chili, red chili, which was commonly used. They stopped all these things. This again shows the fact that there is no problem with the technology or the revolution. The only problem that farmers and Indians have been suffering is ignorance. They don't know what to do with it. Is your problem solved? Are you
Yes.
eating healthy food? Are you getting enough amount of healthy food? Can you buy healthy food? India is a country which is the largest milk producer. It is also the country where milk adulteration is the highest. You every day come across scenery or news where you find people are being arrested for making fake oil, fake ghee, created out of chemical substances. They adulterate that. Don't you find this in the news? And you don't know, you may be buying that and you'll be suffering from cancer tomorrow because you can't afford. You go and buy XYZ oil from the market. For example, sunflower oil. They charge you maybe 200 rupees. You go to a place where sunflower oil is extracted from sunflower seed. He charges you 350 rupees. 1 liter of oil, how the company is being able to produce at such a low cost? It doesn't guarantee that it does not have cottonseed oil or any other oil, but we consume that. So Indians, that's why, don't perform so well in sports. Diabetes, cancer, cardiac problems are all on high. Typically, if you go to the market with 500 rupees note, you may not get even 1 or 2 bag full of vegetable even. Forget about fruits. With 500 rupees, you cannot get even 1 3 kilo, 5 kilo polythene cover full bag fruit. So what are you going to eat? And then when you see this kind of sporadic rises, garlic touching 600 rupees a kilo, onions touching 500 rupees a kilo, 100 rupees a kilo, 200 rupees a kilo. The basic things are not met with. Is your problem solved? Think of it.
So,
Any questions? Yes, please.
hello, sir. So, somebody else is talking.
I don't think so.
Then I am resounding. It is okay.
Hmm.
2 to 3 ideas in my mind. I don't say it ideas, concepts in my mind that green revolution didn't work because we didn't have skilled farmers.
That was first green revolution, let me correct. After
Yes.
that, there have been 2 more green revolutions.
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't have skilled for all agro revolutions. As far I know, I must say, the reasons are same. First, we need skills. We don't have skills. And the second one is, scientists are trying their best in producing genetically modified crops. And we definitely there are some side effects of using chemical fertilizers on environment, on our health, on our body. So definitely only the use of chemical fertilizer and pesticides are not the solutions. That's why we are focusing nowadays on genetically modified crops. We are focusing on high yielding varieties. We are focusing on dwarf varieties. Scientists are working on that. But there is a huge communication gap between the scientists and the farmers. Though they are working in laboratories, the technology should be implemented in the agricultural fields. They are not being implemented because of few reasons. One is financial issue. Second one is the kind of type of seeds they are producing, farmers are not able to buy it. This is the first thing. Second thing, transportation issue. We have transportation issue. The third one is, yes, now organic farming is in a rudimentary stage. We are giving so much importance to organic farming, but it is not a substitute of this kind of farming because we don't get much product from that. So in that case, our skills, our knowledge and our infrastructure should be more strengthened. Fourth thing is economical issue. In that case, yes, Indian government has so many schemes for farmers, but it is not working in that ground level in which a farmer who really wants to work gets the benefit. Fifth thing is social issue. We don't find farming, we don't find agriculture to be a suitable livelihood. We don't feel that it is a very smart way in which we can earn our livelihood. And the sixth thing is laziness among the people. It always have been proven strenuous to work in fields. Yes, it is strenuous. We need to take care, we need to do so many things. And the thing is, we are not giving that much effort in producing this. For example, and one more thing, we are not using sustainable ways. Sustainable way, what I mean by this is we have limited land. Industrialization is increasing and we can't avoid that. We have increased population and we can't have a sudden check on that. We need to produce more by using less land. But what we are doing, and it should be sustainable in the sense, we need some advanced tools like before crop rotation. Yes, there are few things that we need to follow. Crop rotation and cultivating one or two crops simultaneously. But what we are doing, let me say for an example, when we are cultivating paddy, rice, what we are doing, we are depending so much on machines. We are using tractor for that. We are using machine to cut the rice. But before we used to get, what is that called, sir? Chona. What is that called? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
You are audible, but I don't know what you asked.
Sir, and you're getting me what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are using. I'm going to use EA. Say EA ta kaun exactly? What do you mean by say?
Sir, chona.
Chana. Okay.
Yes.
For what?
No, we are cultivating. Yes, we are cultivating rice. Chana. I am using the term chana whenever you will get the. Okay. We are cultivating rice. Before we are using that chana as fodders, to feed our calf, to feed our goats. But nowadays, what is going on? We are using machines to cut that. They cut in a very small pieces, and we can't use that. As a result of which, the whole product is being wasted. We are wasting that. And one more thing is, if we are using technique, it is not for our laziness, not to give scope to our laziness. If we save time from that, we should use that in a better way. We are not using that. We are using tractor, we are using so many tools, we have so many advanced tools that are available, and we are spending so much amount of money on that. It is not like that we are not spending money. But the thing is, we don't want to utilize the remaining time. The only thing is that we just don't want to do the job. We just don't want to do the labor. And one more thing is, when we are using what I forgot. This much, sir. I forgot the other points.
Good. I would agree to many points that you said, and I would not also agree to many other points that you said. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Anybody? Anybody else?
Sir. Sir, I'm also
Yeah,
agree with this say. Sir, as you know, Jesa an Vesha man. So first, it gives importance in a daily food habits. So what we eat every day, it will help to work like at the same manner. In ancient India, if you see in our grandfather's generation or the before the generation of our grandfathers, we see that they work hard and they're also looking like as a young till 80 to 90 years. And they also live at least a century. They don't need to serve of others till 92 century. But if we see in our generation, we need serves to others whenever we are in the 40 to 50 years just. Here is a question mark should create in our mind that we also eat foods and they also eat the foods. So what is the main reasons behind it? Finally, I think that it gives the importance to use the fertilizer to reduce any damages or loss of the crops. Because for the fastest growth, we use lots of the chemicals. Because if we see our population is growing very rapidly, as our population is growing very rapidly, we need to adjust ourselves. That's why we need to the fastest grow in our crops for applying the various chemicals. And in ancient India, everyone has the cows and they also serve like as the goddess. But now it is seen that there is very rare case very rare to see in the cows in the rural areas also. And it is the very few in the villages area also. And and we also feel same about that matter. So I think what we said that is it ignorance or is it the effect of our modernism?
It is absolute ignorance. It's a form of ignorance. What Apabhita and you are trying to point out are sustainable models of farming and living. But as it is mentioned that people in general today don't want to adopt that kind of lifestyle. They want a milkman to provide them the milk. They want a farmer to provide them the grains that they need. In the meanwhile, they don't want to work. Let us understand what is the nature of agriculture. Agriculture is a profession that requires few days of involvement, not throughout the year. To give an example, suppose you are doing rice cultivation, maybe a 60-day variety or a 45-day variety, whatever. You need to till, you need to plow, you need to till, you need to sow and let it be irrigated. When it sprouts, then you need to transplant it at the right moment. After that, you will simply have to protect it from a cow or an elephant or any other animal that can eat it up. And after some particular number of days, the rice is ready or the paddy is ready, which needs to be harvested. Indian farmer used to have a lot of free time before because he had no other engagement. But now you see there are many types of government programs, government schemes, including Manarega, where those unemployed days can be engaged by a farmer to do some kind of development work. But many people don't even do that. When you point out towards use of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, I would say if it hadn't been there, probably I would all have been dying out of hunger. Because all the cauliflowers will be insect infested, the brinjals will have maggots inside it, and nothing would be there to protect the food. As Apavita pointed out, that organic means of cultivation sounds like a good idea. But an organic system also needs a proper organic supply. Just the way you mentioned, like Satyajit, you mentioned that if there is a cow in every house, you may have cow dung and compost. Even in your entire village, you don't want to keep cows, but then are needed 30 cows, and it is herd by a milkman. The milkman should be allowed a place to create a compost and sell it away to the farmer, or else at least a gobar gas plant. Any effort done by the Department of Agriculture and government has become futile in this country with farmers and common people because they don't do it seriously. They will create a biogas tank. When the tank gets little broken, they wouldn't spend money to repair it. They will wait for another government fund to repair it. Money would be given in the form of subsidy to the farmers. Subsidy on seeds, subsidy on fertilizer, subsidy on pesticide, subsidy on buying a tractor or agricultural equipment, subsidy on electrical pump, pipeline, water connection, well, whatnot. And that subsidy money would be used by a rich farmer to build his bigger house. He will use that water pump in his house to take baths. He will use that money. He would use that money that he is getting out of subsidy for his own benefit and will be waiting for another subsidy to be given. And the marginal farmers who have less or small patches of land, they're always at the peril. They don't have money to buy seeds. They don't have money to buy fertilizer. They will be waiting for a credit from a Mahajan to do the cropping and harvesting. The big farmers only have taken the advantage. They have become richer and richer. Like India also houses many of the wealthy farmers of the world. But most of the farmers who work on small fields, they don't have enough money to sustain themselves. So in the name of food security, the government has launched many schemes where money is being taken or the food is taken from one place and is transported to another. But at the end of the day, it is not creating a sustainable setup. Once I was returning from Salepur towards Cuttack, I stopped at a place called Kangarpur. And that is very famous as a farmer's vegetable market. I thought of getting some fresh brinjal for my home from a farmer. So I went, I could see a farmer had a big field where there are a lot of brinjals all ready to be plucked, good size. I asked, how much are you going to charge for a kilo of brinjal? He said, you can pick up as many kilos as you like. That was his words. You can pick up as many kilos as you like and just give me 30 rupees or 40 rupees. I told, what? He said, I have so much of crop right now, but I am not able to hire somebody who will pluck it for me. Now the question is that, I was thinking for a while, is it really so that he doesn't have people to pluck it. Even if he engages himself for 6 hours to pluck the brinjals every day, he can finish, looking at the size of the field, within 2 to 3 days. This fellow is not ready to work for 6 hours. That is very clear. So I and one of my elder brother, we all both went into that. We plucked up and had 2 bagfuls, and we paid him 50 rupees. Then he didn't, our conscience didn't allow it, so we paid him another 50 rupees and got it. This is the fate of agriculture. And you are talking about industrialization. I do not blame industrialization. Most of the industries are located in the area which are unfertile lands. I blame urbanization. People are converting all the leased land, whatever agrarian land they had, into house building lands. Once in soil, concrete gets mixed, cement gets mixed, sand gets mixed. The life of the soil goes back by 75 to 100 years. That soil will not become fertile in next 100 years. But we do that. People, by taking the help of the corrupt officers, convert their agricultural lands into Khorabadi plot, and they start to make the houses there. Everybody needs a plot. People don't want to stay in apartment. So gradually we are losing soil. We don't have quality soil anywhere. So in the absence of that, a new area is converted into an agrarian field, which would be near a hillock, which would have rainy sand, not even the alluvial soil. So that is unfertile. In such a piece of land, they are not going to get a good produce. And who cares? The farmers have already sold his land to a builder nearby any city. So now the agrarian land is now converted into a person's house. If we keep on losing topsoil like this, we would die of hunger. Why we will? Because to generate the topsoil, it is a work of thousands and thousands of years. But to destroy it, it is a matter of time. You can simply destroy it by soil pollution. Add plastic, add concrete, add any type of solid municipality waste, add too much of polluted water coming out of any industry, everything, or a fly ash, you're simply losing the topsoil. Save soil. So I don't blame, actually, the fate of industrialization towards it. People are not able to see where they are going as a country. They think that they need to earn more and more, but that's not the solution. The solution is that whatever they're earning, whatever they have to make it sustainable. The villages have to be sustainable. Every house should have some farming area. People should cultivate different things. This is what is happening in the developed countries right now. They have understood. They're sharing the backyard. One of my friends who's in UK, living in the outskirts of London, he has done a beautiful tomato farming. And let me tell you, he is a software consultant. But he has done beautiful farming in his backyard. And that piece of land is a very huge one. I told, how could you have it? He says, this is not my land. We had 15 houses. All of us had a backyard. I went and tried to convince each one of them that why don't we break our boundaries, the fences. We have fences. Let's break it. Then we have a long stretch of land. In that, we will do tomato cultivation. Fortunately, they all agreed. They wanted a share. Whatever tomato is being cultivated, they wanted to have something out of it. I started tomato there, and he's also doing cauliflower. He is doing his job also simultaneously. But here, we don't do that. We concretize our backyards. We cover every piece of soil with bricks, mortar, cement, pitch. and we are losing the soil. India will die of hunger if we keep on doing that. Will there be any 9 or 10 years of famine at a time? If at all it comes, you are not going to sustain on this for all times to come. You will not be able to buy food. Farmers would be committing suicide. Now most of the farmers have to sell their product at a very low cost. When there is an MSP demand, it is not being met with. You go and see. I am in touch with the many farmers who come to sell their produce in the local big market in Cuttack called as Chhatrabajar or Malgodam. Most of them sell at a very low price, unbelievably low price. They sell away their tomato for 2 rupees a kilo. They sell away their cauliflower, 1 piece, 5 rupees a kilo. Why? Because they don't have cold storage. He can't afford cold storage. He says, let me sell it and go back. And the customer is buying it for 50 rupees, 40 rupees. Everything is earned by this middleman who hoard the stock. They don't give fresh vegetable, fresh things to the people. The carrot you'll be eating will be carrot 1 year old, which will be stored by them. Amounting the price, the amount of the price will be coming because of the cold storage expense. The carrot would be of 10 rupees. Store it for 1 year in the cold storage. Now you have to sell it at 50 rupees or 60 rupees or 100 rupees a kilo. And they exploit it. When fresh fruit comes, they don't sell it to the market. They store it by waxing it on the apples. They engage people to wax on it, so that it stays longer and does not get dried easily. And after storing it, they will distribute. Why doesn't the government provide enough amount of storage facility? And many of the food is such an item which is highly perishable. People throw away so much of food every day. Every day. Now I see in Bhubaneswar and Cuttack, the habit of consuming cereal-rich culture has grown. Lot of rice, lot of roti, and everything else would be less. There would be no sago, there would be no bhaja, there would be no tarkari on the plate because people can't afford it. Most of the people in those who are coming to township areas and are studying, most of the students, they're surviving on that ahar meal. They end their evening eating gupchup or chaat because this is the cheapest street food available, only potato. What kind of nutrition you are giving to your body? The paneer that you consume would be adulterated. So a vegetarian has no more choice. And the chicken would be loaded with a lot of hormones. Mutton will be loaded with a lot of hormones. And the eggs will be procured in an extremely unhygienic environment. Coming to the other aspect like greens, sago, they are also pretty expensive. What does a man eat? And this man eats flavored rice called as biryani. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. But we need to really seriously think about the food culture that we are creating. And because of the food, we have the health. Most of us, like you pointed out, Satyajit, I think, people are not able to live long. There are cardiac diseases, they are diabetic, most of them. People like me sometimes gain weight, they have allergy issues. And the only solution that the government is giving, again, make medicines cheaper. That means you get a disease, you buy a medicine. You get another disease, you buy another medicine. But nothing is done at the ground level for taking care of the food. India needs a revolution, again, in terms of food safety, production, distribution, preparation, and modification. This is what I will have to say. Any last thoughts or questions before I wrap up?
Yes, sir. I have.
Yes.
Sir, that strategy adopted in America by your friend That
No,
really
UK.
sounds. Oh, UK.
Good.
Yes.
Sounds
Sounds
really good.
awesome. Yes. But I just don't know what is the issue with us. Maybe
We
it
don't
isn't
get united.
law. We
We don't
are
get
not ready to share even a single.
backyard.
Yes, dishonesty. I mean, everybody try to do so many things from by investing a very small things. From where these qualities we get, I don't know. But we just don't need to. Yes, if we are saying about this, we need to start it from ourselves, and we're not ready for this because we say
I tried to do that. I
nobody's
tried to do that because I saw similar thing happening in my backyard. Means our backyards in Bhubaneswar are also connected. So I talk all to the neighboring houses.
So, if
I'm just telling you,
we
I'm
will
trying to
say,
answer the question.
so see,
I'm trying to answer the
in-
question.
sorry, sir.
I'm trying to answer the question with a similar example. Okay.
Yes.
So when I tried to talk to my neighbors to connect our backyard and to have cultivation, they said, no, sir. I told, why, sir? No, sir, actually, there will be unfair distribution of the produce. You are going to do the farming and we are going to eat? No, we can't do that. Secondly, sir, if somebody's property gets stolen, for example, the cauliflower gets stolen, then how shall we going to distribute? How are we going to pay the money? So like this, 10 objections came. And the same kind of attitude is found everywhere. You go to a land, farmers have small pieces of land. There was a system called Chakaband, right? Consolidation of the land. It didn't work in India. People did not give up their land for the chocolate. In Japan, a small country like Japan, you see wonderful things in farming. You earn money by selling rice. Japanese earn money by showing rice. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by sowing rice? How can you show somebody rice and earn money?
That you have to explain, sir. I'm
Okay.
waiting for your explanation.
Let me show you so that you can understand. Well, Japan is a very, very small country, even smaller than Katak, I can say. Okay. But they're at least self-sufficient in terms of their food production. They import many things, no doubt. What you see now in the Google window here is basically a drawing created on the rice field. Okay. Can you see these pictures? Here is a ninja warrior running. I don't know if you're able to see or not.
Yes, we're able to see it, but I am not
This
able to
is
get it.
another drawing where the Japanese king is giving an order to a demon, old Japanese king from mythology. The story has been created. Now here you find the Ben 10 comic character. Okay, you find also Star Wars. So these are rice fields actually. So what did they do? This is Mona Lisa. You should see also Mona Lisa. Yeah. So what did they do? One Japanese genetic engineer, he discovered 3 varieties of rice which were equal in quality and taste, only they had 3 different skin. One was black, another one was yellow, another one obviously was green, and something was light brown. So only 4 colors of the plant and the seed. So then they decided that why don't we make paintings out of it? So with the help of a laser gun, they will design these fields, okay? They will create markings and the farmers will have to throw the seed in that particular zone. एक जेमती तमे रंगोली पकाओ हाँ गोटे जगह से कौन करिवे ऑरेंज सॉरी येलो कलर रो सीड पकेवे आ गोटे जगह ग्रीन कलर रो पकेवे and when the rice field gets ready you have a drawing coming out. This is $1 million tourism industry in Japan. They give a flying tour of these fields. Lokamane, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଧାନ କଟା ହବ ତ ଖାଇବେ ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ visitors ମାନେ ଏଇ art ଗୁଡାକ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଜାପାନ ଉପରେ ବୁଲନ୍ତି. How are they able to do that? Because long before Japan adopted a farming model, when they got united, they decided they will not keep that hedon, the barricade between one field and another. They combined their fields. They made it one land so that cropping can be done in most effective manner. So it all begins from mindset and it all begins from me. If it is agro revolution, it has to begin from mind again. That's what I would like to conclude today's session. So if there is no passing thought, then I would like to conclude.
I have, sir.
Thank you, Satyajit, Swati,
I
Apabrita.
have, sir. I have, sir. I have a passing thought.
Ask.
So they are doing it in a very nice way. But in India, I just don't think there is any
Now,
scope of
people didn't know that this could be done even.
Sorry,
Right?
sir?
Did you know this was happening in Japan before I showed it to you?
No.
ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥିଲେ ଆଗରୁ ଏମିତି କରାଉଛି ବୋଲି?
No.
ତ ଭାରତରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଲୋକମାନେ ପାଠ ପଢିବେନି ଜିନିଷ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବେନି ଆଗକୁ କରିବେ କେମିତି? So it has to begin from mind. ठीक है? ଯଦି ଜଣେ
Yes.
ନିଜେ BA BCom BSc କରିକି ଚାଷୀ ହବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହିଁବନି ଚାଷ ଜମି ଥାଇକି ତାଠୁ ବଡ ଦୁର୍ଭାଗ୍ୟ ଆଉ କଣ ଅଛି?
Sir, I want you to share the last story that I know. Perhaps most of us don't know about that. About your student once you told who was after completing
Yeah, I'll be glad to share that. Why not? He's an example.
That was the last one I want you to share.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll definitely share right now before I wrap up today's session. Mind it, long before, see, I have been running this academy for a long time in Cuttack. So different students from different sections of the society, they come. Some people come to prepare for UPSC, OPSC, competitive exams, mortgaging their farmland. बंधक पकेकी तांकर जमी को बापांगठु 20,000 25,000 टका धरिकी से प्रिपेयर करियाको आसंती with no ability, no special talent. But there are some people whose parents also provide money to study. I had a student long before like that. I'm not telling his name. He was a engineer, mechanical engineer from a reputed college in Bhubaneswar. BTech, wanted to prepare for government services. When I saw him in the class, I didn't find that he was good at general knowledge. He was not good at English. Math would be okay kind. So, but then I saw that he is not interested also even to study. He will just come and sit and he would go. No interest at all to study. So I asked him, Beta, why are you coming here? If you're not going to study, then why do you come? He said, sir, actually, I have no wish to become a government servant. But my father is forcing me. I told, what is your father? He told that his father is the inspector in charge, Mangalabag police station. I told, what does he want? Now he expects me to become a government servant or an inspector. No. I told, okay, then you have to live to the expectation of your father. I checked his engineering understanding, his mechanical engineering understanding is poorer than my physics. So definitely he was not a good student of engineering too. So during conversation, I could come to know that he has got a huge patch of land. Their family, in fact, have more than 30 acres of land in somewhere near Kendrapata. I scolded him then. I told, you stupid, you have so many acres of land and you're looking for a government job where you'll be getting some thousands of rupees as a salary. You are a mechanical engineer, you're a science student. When you can become a very good farmer. It was, sir, how do I do that? So I had one India Today issue which enlisted the top farmers of India, the highest earning farmers of India. I gave that him to read for some time. The biggest or the highest profit maker, you can say, that farmer was from Ludhiana in that particular issue. Now the figures might have changed. The farmer from Ludhiana was making a profit of 193 crores every year. 193 crores of profit every year. Tara ghara, say magazine re dekhaithala, his house was like a palace. There were 6 or 7 cars, all branded cars. There was a helicopter pad also, helipad. That fellow, tara lifestyle bhi dekhla sithre India Today. He used to go to his field in a tractor and with his son and wife. City tara pura homeschooling hui. Teachers used to come and teach him and say to say tara market control kare, tara Wi-Fi bade solar panel Wi-Fi kariki to say pike chaଷ କେବଳ ଗୋଟିଏ ଚାଷ କରୁଥିଲା ସେ ହେଉଛି strawberry. Yeah, good question. We'll talk this is strawberry. Our strawberry cultivate करी से मैं तार आगु फार्म अच्छी बड़ फार्म अच्छी तार बापा अजांग समय निहाती थिबो, but he is that one. Then I told him that read his qualification. The qualification टिके पढ़ो. Qualification was BTech IIT Kharagpur, MBA Harvard University. मुझे कहली तमरा भुवनेश्वर कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग रू बीटेक कौन आर क्वालिफिकेशन थारू बेटर. So why can't you do that? I would say जो लिस्ट रे सबुठु तळ फार्मर जे थिला, he was making an annual profit of 19 crores, number 10, by only producing potatoes. Alu. He was moved. He asked me, sir, eta ko mu neki mo bapa ko dekhi paribi? You can try. Say, Kala, fortunately, now he gave up that government chakir rabuttata mundaro le jaitla. Right now, he is making floriculture, say, full produce coach. Star land re cultivate karuchi, and he is one of the leading suppliers to Cuttack, specializing in marigold, Gendu fruit. He's doing that and he's doing it well. Must be earning good. So what I mean by saying that, Mona Lisa, what you have asked in the chat box, why people are ignoring agriculture profession? Because we have been given that mindset that agriculture is a poorer job. It's an inferior job. It is a lowly job. Had I have acres of land, I would have done agriculture too. And I would have done it in the most beautiful. So HO mindset pilanga bhitre pasai diya jauchi by the education system, by the society overall, that should be ignored. That doesn't mean that you are going to become a stupid farmer. Like don't tell, and if anybody says to me that everything in ancient India was good, I shun away. No, everything in ancient India was never good. There are many old practices which ought to have been rejected. So you need to adopt new technology. You need to adopt new methods. You need to think of what could be done. Stop living in that old times, some Puranas. You need to adopt. But the fact is, adopt the good things. You need to adopt the good things from the old time. Organic farming is good, really good. But you need to have a manure. In Bhubaneswar, in order to get a manure bag, 5 kilos I have to pay. Okay, how much I must be paying to get a bag full of manure, organic manure?
500.
5 kilo? Huh?
500.
No, it's not. 5 kilo khata. Don't think
Yes.
fertilizer.
We
5
hate
kilo
it, but you must pay 500.
5 kilo khata को पड़ुची 100 टंका. हैला 5 किलो अट्टा केते पड़ुची की 200 टंका तो. So understand, we have such a shortage even of the compost. So if somebody thinks in a village, anybody thinks that I will be making gobara khata, मु गाँ गाँ बुलिकी लोक मानकठु गोबर आनिबी गोबर खत तैयारी करबी ताको पैकिंग करके बिकिबी नो ही विल अर्न अ लॉट ऑफ मनी just by meeting one need. So then if you don't have manure, how can you do organic farming? If you don't have natural pesticides, if you don't have insect control systems, you cannot do organic farming. So there has to be wise decision making. And ताको करिबा पई बहुत किछि करा हैछि सरकार भी करछिंदी. When I was in a school, we had a topic called agricultural sciences. हमर थिला आमे सेठी पढुथुलो लंगड़ केते प्रकार कोन देश एटा केते खरीफ केते अमल करा जाय जायद केते बेले करा जाय सब आमे पढुथुलो. But then it was removed for good. I don't know what reason it was good, removed. But when I grew up and I started to take classes in colleges, I came to know that there is a college in Cuttack, JKBK College, where there is +2 vocational science agriculture. I was very happy. Arey, what a +2 padha hoche agriculture. I went into that room. They had only one room. You कहले कौन एटा आपनकर गोटे classroom ना सर एटा हमर classroom एटा हमर department रो office एटी हमर HOD बसती मु तार गोटे पिया सब गोटे room मु कहले आपनकर कोठी agriculture कोठी करूचंदी माने चाष तो परिबा दरकार मु जगह रे गोटे ना सर हमर सेमली केछि नाही हमर बेले बेले पिला मान को CRRI सेते बेले थिला राइस रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट को नै जाओ सेट क्लियर कर दो मिल पिला माने हां I saw a lot of copies, copies like spiral fold copies like this. I saw a lot of that. What are these things? Project. Then I came to know that these projects are recycled. माने गोटे वर्ष पिला माने प्रोजेक्ट सबमिट करंती तार ऊपर पेज टा चेक दिया जाए सर्टिफिकेट टा चेक दिया जाए नुआ गोटे लगे दिया जाए पुणी ताको पिला माने नेकी नेक्स्ट टाइम डिपॉजिट कर देंते पिले पिला माने क्लास पे आसंते सर नाही केही आसंते क्लास किछ वे मुकले देन why have you created this? ना सर जो माने जेई पाई ट्राई करिया को चाहतांती एनी पाई ट्राई करिया को चाहतांती ताको जतले अन्य को कॉलेज रे एडमिशन मिलन +2 साइंस एग्रीकल्चर साइंस पढले जणे एनी के पॉसिबल सेति पाई माने सब नै So starting from grassroots to education to capacity building to team building, all the efforts are failing in India due to the ignorance. और आ भितरे जो wise लोक माने educated लोक माने agriculture को as a profession know चंती they are doing really well. They are earning also. So time to rethink what kind of revolution you require. So should we end the session today?
Evolution in psychology.
Maybe. Think better. Okay.
Sir, I am ready to do this, but for that I need a professional name like executive officer of this and that. Like that, I need a professional name to.
You can immediately contact your agriculture office of the district. We have something called as DAO's office. They have all the people advising there. My father was an agricultural officer. He retired as a DAO. So I have been many times to his office. And I have seen that all the officers, AAOs, assistant agricultural officers, they will be simply sitting on their chairs, waiting for some farmer to come and ask them, sir, mu soil testing ta kemti karibi? Sir, ei chaso ta kariya pai ko khato dele bhalo hobo? Kon pai mor patro guda jhadi jauchi? Nobody came to ask them.
Sir,
Ulta jitebele
sir, it's also the mindset of the parents because whenever a child is born and whenever it comes to adolescence period, the parents tells to him, do everything, work hard, but don't accept the agriculture. Because it is a mindset.
It is because agriculture is a very risky thing, no doubt. There are crop failures, there are pest attacks, but you have insurances right now, crop insurances you have right now. You have so many schemes, government's fundings right now coming in your way. So you need to take risks because it is a profession. But everybody wants to have a job. But no country can create a job for all its people. कौन अमेरिका रे तार सबु युवक लोक मानक पई अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट चाकरी कर देची यूके रे हेची डेवलप्ड कंट्री गुडा करे कौन सबु लोक मानक गवर्नमेंट किबा प्राइवेट सेक्टर रे चाकरी मिली जाए मिलेनी. So there would be many people who will remain unemployed. that has to be accepted एई लोक माने जो माने अनएम्प्लॉयड रहउचंती से माने जदि तांकर सेमती रिसोर्सेस थिबो एग्रीकल्चर करबा पई तांकर आज समय तो एमती भी टेक्निक्स बाहर सलाणी जो लोक माने रूफटॉप फार्मिंग में किलो किलो जिंस काढुचन छत ऊपर कल्टिवेट करके किलोज ऑफ टोमेटोज किलोज ऑफ वेजिटेबल्स दे आर ब्रिंगिंग इट अप गोटे गोटे फार्मिंग एरिया रो सो यू वांट हैज टू बी इंटेलिजेंट तमे आपण कांटेक्ट करिवे किंतु
Right, okay.
पेरेंट्स मन माइंडसेट ता बदलिबार कैपेबिलिटी मो पाखरे तो ना समस्ते सब जिंस करबा पई तयारी हे नथांती एटा ग्रहण करबा उचित जे पर्यंत हम सेटा ग्रहण करबा
जदि आजिकली आमे देखिबा तो सेमाने चाष उपे जदि सेमाने किछि तरह करि बना सपोज किछि तरह करि न पारले भी जॉब अपेक्षा तो सेमाने सिक्युरिटी को जदि सिक्युरिटी गार्ड भाबे पसंद करछन कि नोड चाष करबा पसंद करनांती काहे सेमाने ताको मन गोटे माइंडसेट रही कि झियो मिलबेनी ए समय इज क्रॉपिंग द वेजिटेबल और द फार्मिंग एनीथिंग एल्स
I have gone to the deepest of the villages of Odisha. Odisha रा youth, especially I'll talk in of Odisha. Odisha रा youth, एठी graduation सारी गला परे से भाबे मु गोटे बहुत बड़ा पंडित मु एना फील्ड को जीविनी कादोरे गोड़ देबिनी गोबर हाथ रे धरिबिनी लंगड़ धरिबिनी मु चस्सा बोली कोहा जीवन मु कोन करिबी मु ट्यूशन कर This is the fate of most of the youth in Odisha. मु ट्यूटर ही ट्यूशन करी जीवी ता भितर यदि गोटे सरकारी चाकरी बाजिला त भल कथा नहले मु सेमती ट्यूटर हे के रही आ सो कॉल्ड आ कोन ऑप्शंस अछि छक ऊपर बरा पियाजी दुकान देबी फास्ट फूड स्टॉल खोलिबी ही XYZ थिंग्स आई विल डू बट आई विल नॉट डू फार्मिंग ए माइंडसेट ता काहे कल्टीवेट हेज has been cultivated by the society itself because we only say jai jawan jai kisan but we really don't give that respect to the kisan that we have. So पछ कथा प्रथमे मैं एतिकी तो बुझबा दरकार कि all are not meant to be teachers, all are not meant to be scientists, all are not meant to be actors, singers, dancers. And one thing also जदि गोटे गारो गोटे फार्मर टे तार फील्ड रे पाठ पढ़ी पढ़ी माने यू नो अबाउट द स्टोरी ऑफ महाराष्ट्र राइट से तो फार्मर पिलाटा ना 20-21 वर्ष पिलाटी सब दिन चाष करिया जाय से चाष जमी रे पाठ पढ़े चाष जमी रे पाठ पढ़ी पढ़ी के आईएएस क्लियर करि गला विदाउट एनी कोचिंग आपण कोनटा करथां देली अधिका ट्यूशन करि के एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स करि
सर हमें
सो दीस आर
गोटे डॉक्टर
सुबनी मोनालिसा
सर आमे कोन चेष्टा करले हेई परिबानी गोटे टीचर एक्सेट्रा
चेष्टा करले टीचर आपण हेई परिबानी काहे कि किंतु पॉइंट इज दैट कि डू यू नीड तमे टिके भाबिबो कि सोसाइटी रो नीड कोन तम गां रे जदी 10 टा बरा पियाजी दुकान अछि तमे 11 नंबर खोलले कोन हबो बिजनेस पाइबो
नहीं सर
ठीक हां कि तमे जदी एमिति गोटे नीड को एड्रेस करिवो जोटा नाही गारे मोची दुकान माने शू स्टोर के नहीं तबे गोटे शू एटा को लगा करिवो मोटे कॉलेज को जाइथिली डोंट वांट टू टेल द नेम ऑफ द कॉलेज सेठी झियो मान उठाई पछिल तमे कोन करिया चाहौ छ एटा इट वाज मोर ओवर अ गर्ल्स कॉलेज सो बॉयज मान कोएड थिला कि पो मान संख्या बहुत कम छ माने होतिले 120 जण पिला बसथिले मु चली कोन करिया चाहौ छ 100 जण कहले सर हमें बॉडी पांपड़ तयारी 120 जनकर 100 जनकर बॉडी पांपड़ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी केते बॉडी पांपड़ लोक खाइबे कि are you going to export that body pampad to America or Australia why are you thinking why not you thinking diverge mo sango jaha kala mu share karibi mo sango eta kala mu share karibi this herd attitude has to be broken loko juade chalbe siade muhiba tale apun kemti bhabibe apun pe scope to create karunanti opportunity create karunanti apun nijo mu कहूनी कि जने टीचर हे परिबो जने चेष्टा कले पृथ्वी सब किछि कर दे पाए the point is that there is a struggle involved in it अतापि लोगन को बच्चो कोन करूची मु कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रिपेयर करूची 10 वर्ष धरि कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रिपेयर 6 वर्ष धरि की XYZ ट्राई करूची मे बी यू आर नॉट मेंट फॉर इट डू समथिंग एल्स एते समय कोन लागुची कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम रे कोन पाठ पढे आई एम आस्किंग टू ऑल यू आर यंग पीपल कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम रे कोन पाठ पढे 10वीं श्रेणी पर्यंत जहां पढी थांती आपण सेति के जनरल नॉलेज इंग्लिश मैथ और रीजनिंग एति तो पढे और जदि आपण टिके ऐड कर देबे टिके डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन बाय करंट अफेयर जीके एंड सो कॉल्ड चेंजेस अराउंड इट ताकू पास करे 5 वर्ष लागि होची स्कूल पाठ को सारी की आपण को कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम क्रैक करिया पे 6 वर्ष लागि हो जदी यू आर नॉट मेंट फॉर कॉम्पिटिटिव वर्ल्ड यू आर मेंट फॉर समथिंग एल्स यू शुड एक्सेप्ट इट अदरवाइज आपण लगी कि 8-9 वर्ष पर पाइबे तापर लाइफ ला कोन यू विल बी डूइंग सम मीडियोकर जॉब लाइक दैट अबंतु निज करियर विषय एंड व्हाई आई ब्रॉट दिस टॉपिक ये सब जाक तो सुपरफिशियल कथा आपण पैसा रोजगार करि दे केमिति भी कोन करकी कोनसी रोजगार कर दे बट यू नीड टू हैव फूड सिक्योरिटी एंड आई सी इंडिया एज अ फूड इनसिक्योर कंट्री असंत समय भारत तार आवश्यक खाद्य उत्पादन करि पारला बळिया मते कहि लाग कारण जेतिक जाक चाष जमी मु देखुथि जो शहर रे जो गां रे दे आर ऑल कन्वर्टेड इनटू फैलो लैंड्स दो फसली जमी रे गोटे फसल ही होची जोटी गोटे फसल होतला सेठी किछि करूना कारण सरकार के पक्षर अनेक गुडिया स्कीम जोटा कि लोन रे पुनी दिया जाउची India is the highest debtor country right now, one of the highest debtor country. IMF already warning this. प्रत्येक टी भारतीय मुंडरे 1,25,000 टंकार लोन वर्तमान अच्छी आपण जानि पारना कारण जोटा पूरा देशर लोन सेटा आपनकर लोन how are you going to pay off if the economy doesn't sustain इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन करिवे वेरी गुड छोट छोट इंडस्ट्री होबा दरकार जिनस प्रोड्यूस होबा दरकार लोगों के पाखरे सस्ता रे पहुंचीबा दरकार अफोर्डेबल हेके पहुंचीबा दरकार बट टेल मी how many products that you're using right now you're getting it from make in India products हम पर्यंत मध्य हमर कंट्री रो इकोनॉमी रो 33% चाइना को देकी बसिछु हम इंपोर्ट करूछु पर्यंत चाइना टू अमेरिका टू यूरोपियन कंट्री ताले हम कोनटा मैन्युफैक्चर करूछु आईटी इंजीनियर्स साइबर पुलिस जो माने अमेरिका रे सस्ता रे काम करिवे you need to empower youth you need to think in broad lines जदि हमें ए बेसिक जिंस गुडा को एड्रेस न करिबा कालीर डेट रे पीपल वुड बी सफरिंग थ्रू अ पुअर लाइफ ए जो आपण सुनु चंदी ना को गां रे खास मंजी खाई की लोकंकर डेथ हे जाउची कोठी टमाटो को टंकारे आठनारे बिकी न बिकी पारी कि मध्य चासी आत्महत्या करूची कोठी परिवार टे कोटे ए सब अपन सब दिन न्यूज रे पढथि गोटे परिवार टे तार लोन टा को पे ऑफ न करि पारि कि बेकरे दौड़ी दे कि मरि जाउछन ए सब जाक इग्नोर करछु हमें we see that our country is prospering an agrarianly self sufficient country has gone to ruin we need to rethink Odisha is again another state richest state in the country in terms of minerals poorest of the countries in terms of development we don't realize it because we don't think जदि हम भाबु थांतु ताले तो किछि करू था हम एथि भाई भाबुनु बिकॉज़ हम पाखरे न भाबिबा पय अनेक गुडी जिंस दिया हिछि आपन पाखरे न भाबिबा पय 100 टा ओटीटी चैनल अछि मागणा रे अवेलेबल YouTube अछि Facebook अछि वैरायटी ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर कैन आपन जोटा का इंपोर्टेंट इशू ताकरे भाबिबे ताकू छाडी के आपन दुनिया रे सब विषय रे आपण अलगा हेइ थे परंती आपण आपण के कॉलेज रे आपण गां रे आपण चतुर्पार्श्व रे लोक मुडी के देखिबे मुझे असत्य कहती भी मत ताले जणे am I wrong are you thinking of the core issues that affect you as a country आपन बापा को किबा जेबा को आपन पछारिबे से माने तळे छक ऊपर बसुथिबे से माने जो कथा गुडा को कथावार्ता होतले से गुडा को इंपोर्टेंट कांसेप्ट थिला आज जो समय लोक माने देखा भी होना थी कॉफी हाउस कौन पे अरेंज करा जाय छी बसी कथा बा पय आ के रीजन कारण कथावार्ता हेले आउटलुक टा चेंज हुए जिन सब थैंक यू वेरी मच आई एक्सटेंडेड बाय 25 मिनट्स एंड होप जाबित आपण सब
wonderful session
Thank you so much, sir.
thank you so much sir
my pleasure goodbye